Give folks a second. Go ahead, come on down. Slide on through. Peace, peace, peace. Check, check, check. Check. All right, cool. Cool. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam Mel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. This is Rise of the Moors Wakefield standoff case update as of August 10th, 2021. We have an update in the case with some information. Wanted to get that to you all. I'm going to be reading from the Providence Journal via MSN. Kinga Burundi, Borondy. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. And also, pardon me, in the description of this video is a playlist, Rise of the Moors information playlist. So if you're not up to date, if you don't have any idea what's going on with the Rise of the Moors in this Wakefield standoff case, I would advise you to click that link and check out all of those videos and give you, like a step-by-step process of what's going on. Long story short, 11 individuals in this group called the Rise of the Moors militia group uh, got into a standoff with state troopers in Massachusetts, which led to their arrest. They had several court proceedings, and the court proceeding on August 9th, yesterday, was probable cause. It was supposed to be a probable cause hearing, but as you'll hear, there was a month-long extension granted by the Massachusetts District Court judge yesterday on Monday. The extension was requested by the prosecutor overseeing the Rise of the Moors case after the district attorney's officer claimed it needed additional time to process the evidence. The assistant district attorney, Graham Van Epps, requested a 30-day stay since the case involved 10 defendants and an allegedly large number of firearms. And this is interesting. Just want to pause real quick for a moment. As they say, 10 defendants. Initially, it was 11 individuals that were arrested, and one of them was a 17-year-old. So I'm not sure if the 17-year-old's charges were dismissed or if that person has a completely separate case altogether. Um, it involved 10 defendants and allegedly large number of firearms. The weapons have been submitted to the state's lab for processing, including checks for ballistics, criminality, and even DNA evidence. It was the second time that the prosecutor's office had sought additional time. This is an ongoing investigation, and I submit continuing the probable cause hearing September 8th, Van Epps told Judge Peter Doyle during the hearing that was conducted via video conferencing. The motion to delay the proceedings until September 8th was granted by Judge Doyle, who said he expected the Commonwealth to have moved to indict the men by then. So that's an interesting development in the case. So they didn't have the probable cause hearing yesterday, August 9th. It was granted by the prosecutor or granted by the judge to the prosecutor for a month-long extension. And then a little further down, it speaks on some representatives from the Rise of the Moors. Hold on one moment. Yeah, updating with the case. Here we go. At the judge's request Monday, all of the defendants, the Rise of the Moors defendants, appeared via an internet link. The judge, who does not usually sit in Malden District Courtroom, requested his image not appear on camera. About 30 supporters, some wearing fez headwear, headwear is not really, wearing fez, headwear, turbans, and other Moor-style attire, were in the courtroom Monday supporting the men. Several attorneys were also present in person. Some had been retained as official counsel. Mm. Others appeared on standby. Excuse me. I apologize. Others appeared on standby. Let me take a sip of water. The irony just hit me. I'm sorry. Others appeared on standby basis as several of the men had petitioned the court to represent themselves. Christian Williams of the Harvard Law Criminal Justice Institute, appearing for Omar Malik Antonio L., complained of the state's motion for continuance and said that the state lacks good cause for the delay. So one of the representatives for the Rise of the Moors, Christian Williams. I'm not sure if he's, I guess, what attorney Christian Williams, appearing for Omar Malik Antonio L., complained that the state lacks good cause for the delay. While an ongoing grand jury criminal investigation is a factor in continuing granting continuance, it is only a factor, not a prime reason for granting a continuance, argued Williams, adding the state doesn't even have that, just a date for the proceedings to start September 1st. Um, Williams said of the state that the state appears woefully unprepared to proceed. If the Commonwealth doesn't have evidence, it doesn't have probable cause, Williams argued. Um, Van Epps reiterated his argument that the large amount of evidence has yet to be gathered, reviewed, processed, and then released as part of discovery to the defendants and their representatives. Um, in representing himself in the proceedings, Jamal Tavan Sanders Latimer, also known as Jamal Talib Abdullah Bey, objected to the hearing, claiming that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts did not have merit to move the case. If this were about justice, you would hear this as one case. All of us would be detained together and we would be charged as a militia, Jamal Talib Abdullah Bey said via Zoom. The state is keeping 10 men in jail with no merit, no cause. I'm ready to move today. If if one is innocent until proven guilty, we are innocent and you must release us as there is no crime, said Jamal. We are not guilty of anything, but we cannot see our families, our fathers, our daughters. The state is taking its sweet time. One defendant, Tarif Sharif Bey, who is seeking to represent himself, claims he has been denied access to mail, which bar him from filing necessary paperwork, he said, including documents needed to change his name from the name listed on court papers to Tarif Sharif Bey. There's no probable cause to begin with, said Bey, addressing the judge. The trooper even said it was a courtesy stop. This is quoting. Um, as I said earlier, the state was granted the motion to extend. So, um, unfortunately for the Rise of the Moors defendants, their arguments did not win in that motion. What other pertinent information? The group has filed suit in U.S. District Court in Rhode Island, challenging the state court jurisdiction in Massachusetts over the criminal charges facing the men, who claim they are sovereign citizens of Moroccan descent and immune from state law. The Moors filing cites the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 between the Empire of Morocco and the United States. The group is also suing the individual state troopers involved, as well as several media outlets, including AT&T, which owns CNN, Comcast, Viacom, News Corporation, News Media, and CBS. Stephen Latimer, in court to support his son Jamal, said the families were surprised the men were not in the courtroom. I texted him at 8 a.m. and was surprised he hadn't left yet. Another supporter, who declined to give his name, stood outside the courtroom after the proceedings and advised other family members and friends to stand strong with each other. They want us to come against each other, said the man wearing a blue kaftan. I'm not sure what a kaftan is, Kaftan, but we need to stand firm. They don't have anything. And so that's the end of the article. Oh man, Jesus. My apologies. I was in the article. Peace to everybody in the chat. Uh, um, so an update. The case was extended 30 days. The new court date is September 8th, 2021. Double check that on the schedule. What day is that? September 8th is a Wednesday. So September 8th, 2021 is when they shall proceed with the probable cause hearing. But it sounds like the judge is expecting um, some movement to happen even before then. He said indict an indictment by that date. So uh, I don't believe there'll be any further extensions in terms of at least the probable cause hearing. Um, uh, in terms of their lawsuit, I haven't seen any updates in terms of traction, positive or negative in that regard. And actually, I just wanted to state that I'm not sure what the lawsuit against Viacom and CBS and against the news media. I don't know exactly what that would do in regards to the criminal case. I'm not exactly sure how that's connected, but just wanted to put that information out there. Was there any questions? Was there any questions? Is there anything that was in unclear about? Uh, any questions relevant to the rise of the Moors Wakefield standoff case? Um, do you think they will win anything, Prince Marcel? Win anything in terms of the cases or the lawsuit against the media? Uh, you know, it's possible. It doesn't. I'm not really sure w what the case is or what they're really arguing. Um, I think the chances are kind of slim just because of uh, who they're going against. Those are gigantic media companies, have, extensive money, like long money, gigantic lawyer teams and attorneys and, whole department ready to deal with lawsuits. So, you know, I'm not sure. It's possible. If you mean will they win anything in terms of their criminal case, um, I don't know. Uh, you know, I'm doing my best not to put my opinion out there uh, in respect to the case, just because that doesn't really do much. I hope for their family's sake, if they are found guilty, they can speak with the judge and you know do their best to get as little time as possible. I don't want to see anybody locked up. Really. Well, I don't want to say that, but anyways. One question, bro, is Moors, what crimes did our brothers commit? Bolden Bay, what crimes did our brothers commit? According to Massachusetts state law, they broke some laws, and they were charged with a host of different crimes, largely in part dealing with the transportation and the having to do with the weapons and the guns. Um, I would say to go look into the videos for the specific charges. I don't want to necessarily go back through all the every single charge, but that's what they're charged with according to Massachusetts state law. Now, if they're guilty of breaking those laws, if that's what you're getting to, it's not my place to say, are they guilty or innocent? I'm not the judge or the jury. I don't have all the evidence. So it would be unfair for me to say, yes, they're innocent or yes, they're guilty because I don't fully know. I don't have all the information. Long money over truth. No, no, not necessarily. Just in terms of winning a lawsuit, though, having money is you know, it's a factor. If you have money, you have money for serious representation, it's difficult to win against that. It's not fair, it's not righteous, but it is the truth. Yeah, one time for Luffy, son. Let me focus though. Um, what are the seven elements of jurisdiction? I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure on what the seven elements of jurisdiction. I'll have to look that up. Wow, no support for fellow Moors is crazy. Um, let me express again something in regards to that and people with that mentality. Understand, true Moorish Americans, true Moors that truly stand on principle. It's not about I'm gonna side with another Moor or another Moorish brother, Moorish sister, Moorish American, um, simply because they are Moorish or simply because they identify as a Moor. That's incorrect. So to the person that said no support for fellow Moors is crazy. No, it's not crazy. To be clear, the individuals when that Rise of the Moors militia group, that is a completely separate organization from the Moorish Science Temple of America. That organization and those individuals identify themselves as foreign nationals and citizens of Morocco. I identify myself as a Moorish American, an American citizen. So when you say no support for your fellow Moors, and to be specifically clear, as it relates to Moorish Americans and Moors to stand on our principles, we are taught to not carry weapons, not even a pocket knife. We are taught to love instead of hate. We are taught to be about peace instead of destruction, which is why I was informing Jamal and those individuals months prior to this event that they should not be on the internet with guns and doing those kinds of activities because it's dangerous and it's going to get people in potentially situations that will get them locked up or possibly injured and killed. I hope I made myself clear. Marius Bay, can you grab your Black's Law Dictionary and please read the definition of crime for this video? That's a good one. Yes, 1 second. Ah, right underneath me. But And even still, despite some of the disrespectful things Jamal and the Rise of the Moors group have said and continue to say about me, I still don't wish them ill. I still pray for them and their families. I hope things are resolved as best as possible for them. But to the definition of crime, a positive or negative, and just so for reference, I'm reading from Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Crime, a positive or negative act in violation of penal law, an offense against the state. Woo, that's kind of deep. That's kind of deep. I mean, it has a gigantic definition. I'm not gonna read that whole thing. Well, actually, I read this little top. Crime and misdemeanor, properly speaking, are synonymous terms. though in common usage, crime is made to denote such an offense as are of a deeper and more atrocious dye. Mm, that's powerful. Ooh, my goodness. My goodness. Crime. Peace, 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 peace. Let me see any other questions here that I missed. Brother Bay, where is the support from the elders? I'm not sure. Is this genocidal acts or not? Is this an assault on our empire? Marius Bay. I don't know what empire you're speaking about. Is Marius Bay? Are you down with the rise of the Moors, the militia organization? When you say our, are you referring like y'all? Because I'm not sure about the empire. Peace, Prince Marcel. Afterwards, when things get settled, I'll definitely speak a little bit more freely. Just out of respect, because it's not a, regardless of what people, you see in the comments and people online, this is not anything to play with. And I hope the people involved, the individuals, I hope they're taking this as seriously as it is, because it's not nothing to play with. They charged with some serious charges. Um, Thank you, Jonathan Scott Bay, Islam. Appreciate that. Um, let's see here. Do you do you also have connection with Canadians? 5858 Anika. No. Well, much love to Canadians and people in Canada. But I don't have any. At least I don't think I have any family in any connections in that sense. And if you're speaking about the Moorish brother in what he's calling Canaan land, uh, Cujo. No, I'm doing my best to separate myself from that brother as much as possible. Is this land Morocco or Maurice Bay? If I could get some clarification, Maurice Bay, are you down with the Rise of the Moors organization? Islam is clear that the brothers need help. I don't agree with that ideology in regards to sovereign citizenship, but it's clear they need help. I agree. I agree that I do. I will say I do feel they need help. I also understand that sometimes the people that need the most help are sometimes the hardest to help. Sometimes very reluctant on accepting help. You know what I mean? That whole you got to learn the hard way. I understand that firsthand. So I've learned, that you can't force information, you can't force understanding on people. You can offer information, you can offer your perspective, but if people don't want to pick it up and really digest it, then, you know, excuse me, ask a few questions. Hmm. Okay. I appreciate that perspective. L L pardon me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Salahuddin, if I pronounce that right, Salahuddin Muhammad. Can't say you're praying for them and wish them best. You keep making videos proving, quote unquote, proving the case for the Europeans. You made your point, quote unquote, long ago more. You don't agree how they move. I appreciate you expressing that. Um, well, you can't tell me I'm not praying for them. You can't tell me that. But what that aside, the part about I keep making videos proving the case for the Europeans. One, it's not some Moors versus European thing. So Let's please stop with that kind of mentality and thinking, because that is wrong from the jump. But also understand anything, any videos that I'm making is not. I didn't. I don't have some hard drive, that I snuck from the Rise of the Moor. Oh, family, they posted this information in these videos into the public, which is why I was making videos saying it's not smart to do those things. It's not intelligent. So any information that you say I'm proving, Jamal himself said months ago that the FBI was investigating him, that he had conversation or spoken some sort of communication with the FBI, and he himself admitted out his own mouth that the FBI is indeed investigating the Rise of the Moors organization. So you mean to tell me you think little old Rami, peace and love Rami, that's making videos updating Moorish Americans about this case, I'm proving Europeans wrong as if the FBI wasn't investigating them already? You think they don't have this footage already? Come on, family, let's be intelligent. But I appreciate your perspective. I do. Thank you for expressing that. The truth. Which is why Noble Drew Ali, and let me actually put this on the record, for especially for individuals that may not have an understanding about the Moorish Science Temple of America, or may not have a true understanding of what true Moorish Americans, Moors that really stand on principles and really follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Let me express this to you. This is from what is known as our divine constitution. In Act 5, it says, "This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby." Noble Drew Ali made it very clear we're American citizens. We're supposed to obey the Constitution. We're not supposed to cause confusion or try to overthrow the laws at all, but obey the laws. So I just want to make that clear, that distinction clear. So when you see certain individuals pushing a certain narrative, understand that they're not really being true to what it means to be a Moorish American or what it means to really be a Moor. We have to stand on principle, not personality. We can't be following these different personalities just because they are charismatic, or just because we feel like they know what they're talking about. We have to stand on our principles. Um, does the Moore Science Temple need a military? Brother Bay, thank you for that question. Excuse me. I made a video in regards to that. But to answer the question directly, Noble Drew Ali himself said that Moors, we didn't need a army or navy or aircrafts, or airplanes. I think it was the quote. And this was being read from a letter that was written in 1931 about what Noble Drew Ali said in regards to military. And he also said in that same letter that we didn't need guns here or anyplace else. If Moors followed Noble Drew Ali's teachings or guidance, that we would not need guns here in America, North America, the United States of America, or anywhere else for that matter. El Muhammad, I agree. You tried to tell them beforehand. Now that they are incarcerated, just let them have their day. You've done your job as a warner prior. Right, indeed. And this video, and if you notice this video, what I do my best to do is stick to providing the information to update people about the case and what's going on, and not my opinion and not my feelings on the matter. And why am I doing that? Because we need to be aware and informed of this because this affects all of us. What I don't think many people realize is now, regardless of what perspective or what Moorish group, what Moorish temple, what organization you're about, if you identify as a Moor, there's a possibility now of police or government agencies and officers and things like that acting hostile based on this case and based on their actions. Regardless how you feel of the matter, it has possible implications for all people that identify as Moors. So these videos is more about the information. It's not about trying to prove them wrong or not let them have their day. It's about providing information. And if you listen back to these videos, I hope you'll see that. That's a powerful one. I think a lot of people, Black Enigma, I think a lot of people are conflating the issue of nationality and how this group self identifies with the actual merits of the case and the probable cause narrative presented in court. It's powerful. Um, are you planning, Jonathan Scott Bay, are you planning on having a question and answer about the Supreme Court and Council interview? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that after this one. Yeah. Just so I can keep it separate. You know what I mean? So I don't want it to be some people ain't here, they ain't listening for all of that. Anything else regarding the rise of the Moors? Just making sure I'm not veering too far off the topic about the rise of the Moors, Wakefield standoff case. If you're just now getting here, just to update you, they had a court. They were supposed to have a probable cause hearing yesterday, August 9th. But at the hearing of the proceedings, the state attorney or prosecutor asked for a 30-day extension, which was granted by the judge, Judge Doyle. Um, and so now the new court date is a probable cause hearing. Court date is September 8th, 2021. Ain't nothing wrong with training or camping, but running out of gas on I-95 for no permits on those weapons. Everyone knows in order to carry, you need to know the law for that state or states. That's I agree. A saying that I've heard oftentimes echoed: ignorance of the law is no excuse. And it's better. Um, man, what was this other? Man, it's if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I think some more preventative, or I think some more measures done beforehand could have prevented any sort of issue like this from happening. Um, anything else here? Nobody breaking laws, but you going against the grain and pushing a European agenda, clown. Okay, Mr. Malik Bey. Do you have any questions in regards to the rise of the Moors case? Should Moorish Americans enlist in the Army, Navy, etc.? You know, I don't know. I don't. That's not really my place to speak on that one. Yeah, that's an interesting question though. Um, okay. Okay, so no questions from Malik all caps Bay. I'm done and I'm a noble. Rise of the Moorish Empire, excluding you, traitor. No problem, man. God bless. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions in regards to the rise of the Moors. The case. Now I'm thinking it's just their supporters like Malik Bey, just kind of frustrated and things of that nature. So, you know, I think I'm gonna close it up here shortly. Where can I message you directly? I'm sorry, that's a great question. 5858 Anika, thank you for that. Excuse me, I don't know who that is, but where can I message you directly? IAMHHtemple@gmail.com. That's the email you can reach me. IAMHHtemple@gmail.com. Um, if you want to ask some questions, and whoever, if you want to ask some questions in regards to this case of the rise of the Moors, but you may not want it to be public, no problem. Definitely understand. You can feel free to email me there. Or if you're watching this and it's after the actual live, you can just type the question in the comment. If you could just be respectful, even if it's a supporter of the rise of the Moors like Malik Bey, it's all good that you support them. Just be, respectful with your support. A thing that I've learned, growing up is that you don't have to be disrespectful to stand or express yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to be disrespectful and rude and just mean to other people to express how you feeling. You know what I mean? Or express your support. You know what I mean? You ain't got to down other people to lift up people that you support. So, man. Uh, IAMHH Temple@gmail.com. All one thing. IAMHH Temple@gmail.com. No one no one has addressed they are being traded, which is slavery. Unity 333. They are being tried under the UCC. Uh, I'm not. I don't understand that one at all. So I really don't know how to address that. Yeah. Um, Black Enigma. Man. Yeah. 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 Boy. Yeah. Ooh. Um. I. Oh, I gotta read this one because. All right. Boom. Black Enigma. If in fact they wanted to avoid attracting attention from fellow travelers, they would have filled their gas tanks and traveled directly to their destination nonstop. For me, take away the feds and more stuff and science, take away, standing for your Second Amendment, take away all of the extra political, the spiritual, um, the legal, take away all of that. Let's think about this on a real like common sense level. And that's like for me, I will express that when I first heard about this, and then I finally heard how far they had traveled before they had pulled over to refill their tanks, I said, well, h- how come they just didn't fill up before they took off? You know what I mean? Like, that is something I feel, regardless of how you may feel about me or you feel about the case or the Constitution or what the UCC, all of that stuff aside, in terms of accountability, I feel like I'm hoping and praying at least the rise of the more supporters and individuals can at least say we should have filled up beforehand, and it's kind of saddening that I don't see at least the supporters saying, even though I disagree, I do feel like this could have prevented, because that's a simple solution that may have prevented any of this. You know what I mean? I just feel like from a very common sense level, I wish we could be more open about admitting, all right, that was an error. That was clearly a mistake. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to anybody out there? Or is it just me? I hope that made sense to somebody. You know what I mean? Anywho, let me close up this one. Um, but to the person that asked me about the Supreme Grand Council, about the questions for the Supreme Grand Council. Um, Truth, I don't even want to read that, but that's a very interesting perspective. And I've never been in the streets. Never claimed to be a gangster. Not a gangster. No, I'm not. Anyway, that's quick, DJ quick. Anyway, but logically, man, I feel exactly what you're saying. Anyways, let me close this up. I'm gonna make a little live video after this for the Supreme Grand Council questions, for anybody that's interested in that. It was a video that I did with Taharka. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me directly about the Supreme Grand Council, or that exchange with Taharka, or anything else out there, Malik Bey and the Rise of the Moors individuals, and the individuals in Canada and Mr. Trinidad, all of that. Let's do that over there. All right. Much love to everybody. I appreciate the questions to everybody that asked questions and put forth their perspective as it relates to the rise of the Moors case. If there's any updates or any changes that go on, any updates with the lawsuit, I'll update. I'll create a video and update you all. If not, then the next time will be after the court date in September 8th. So look for a video somewhere around September 9th, September 10th, something like that. Uh, yeah. Much love. Thank you uh, to the Moors out there. Study and follow Noble Drew Ali. Much love. Peace.